Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Machan Leira online smicha. Interesting din in Shulchan Aruch that it says gewaldige things about it and how important it is, yet many people have a minhag not to do it, is the concept, the halacha of a hesped, of a eulogy. It says gewaldige things, how important a eulogy is for the mess and how special it is, what it does for the mess, for the one who passes away. Yet, there is many who don't have the custom to eulogize a nifter, and there are some who even instructed their talmidim, their family, that to make sure that when they pass away, make sure not to make a eulogy. And the question is, why? After all, Chazal tell us great things about it. Now, the Minchas Elazar has a big chiddush. He says that if a father or a rebbe specifically instructed his talmidim or his children not to make a hesped, that's fine. You have to listen to them. Mitzvah l'kayim divrei hames, but that's only an oral hesped. To write about him, to write about the departed one, the one that passed away, that you're still allowed to do, even if he asked for it not to be done. Now, a hesped, in Shulchan Aruch it speaks, this is for a man, a male, for a female, for children, and there's different ways how the Gemara Moed Katan and the Shulchan Aruch discusses how and where it should be done. An interesting thing, the Gemara says in Masechta Brachos, the Av Gimel Amud Beis, Amar Rab Zrika, Amar Rab Armi, Amar Rab Shua ben Levi, Ein Oimrim b'fnei meis, al dvarim shel meis. That when you're speaking in front of the mess, you're only allowed to say things that are important, that are needed for the mess right now. And the Gemara says that's an issue with Dvar Torah. A Dvar Torah you can't really mention because since Loi HaMesim Yahalaluka, the Mesim, once the Neshama leaves, they can't study Torah. In a certain sense, you're teasing them. You're being loyal l'rush. So you're not allowed to say a Dvar Torah in front of the mess. Avo Mila da Alma, but just general things, less lanba. There is no big rule Isser saying these type of things in front of a mess. However, the Gemara says Ikud Amri. The other opinion says Amr Abba Bakana. It's the other way around. That even Divrei Torah, which maybe it's a good thing to say, you have to minimize. Kol Shkein, how much more so you're not allowed to talk about Mili Dalma. Just general things not to talk. Now, for those who have the custom not to make a eulogy, I will quote 4 or 5 different reasons for what reason they try not to allow it to happen. So one reason is it's brought that we're afraid maybe the person giving the hesped, saying the eulogy, will overdo it and exaggerate. And if he exaggerates, not only it's not true, it will be bad for the person speaking and for the departed one, for the mess. Because for the person speaking, he's saying a lie, and it's not true about the mess. So the masbid, the one who's saying the eulogy, will get punished because of the mess. And the Chazal tell us anybody who causes others to get punished is not enter in mechitzas shel Kadosh Baruch Hu. So we don't want speeches. Another reason is brought, the malachim come, Chazal tell us, the Eibusha says to the malachim, go down and listen to what people are saying about this person who just passed away. And if they hear, whatever they hear, they come back and report it. And when they say things that are not true upstairs, they kick the malachim away, say, get out, it's not true. So the malachim become offended, and they come back down, Rahman al-Itzlan, and they harm the people who've gotten involved. Another reason is brought is because when you make a public eulogy, you do announcements, it's an ayin hara, because things are done in public, it's an ayin hara. Others actually give a good reason for not being maspid, not to prevent something bad. It don't be maspid because since the halacha is you have to be maspid, if a person it doesn't get his proper honor and respect, that alone will be a kapara for him. So it will be a kapara that he didn't get a proper hesped. And last reason, which is brought, sometimes when you give somebody the microphone and he speaks and speaks and speaks, he might even say that this person, he himself was great and he only was taken away from this world because Hashem didn't want him to see the future troubles. And he starts elaborating of things that, God forbid, are going to happen bad to Klal Yisrael. We don't want anybody mentioning anything future negative or whatever. So therefore, because the people who are maspidim are not known to keep it to the limited what it really was and how true it is, a lot of people, that's Minei Chabad and many other customs, to cut out Hespedim. Now, the Rebbe writes that even though we don't say Hesped, but we do say, and the Rebbe did do this after Yud Shvat, say stories about the Niftar. I want to conclude the Gemara in Masechta Brachos. The Gemara in Masechta Brachos, Daf Nun Zayin Amid Aleph, says, Haroya Hesped b'chaloim. If somebody sees a hesped in his dream, you should know it's a siman toiv loy. It's a good sign. What's the siman? That min hashamayim chasu olav, they had rachmanis on this person in Shemayim, ufadu, and they redeemed him from death. And how is it a siman toiv? So that the Mefarshim say hesped. If you could also read chasu padu, which means rachmanis, redemption. But the Gemara says, Hani Mili, this is only bikasva. If it was written, if in your dream you see the word hesped, then it's a good sign. But if you actually, in your dream, hear somebody eulogizing you, that's not a good sign, because in a dream, you only want to hear and dream about positive things.